It's very powerful. It's invisible. I don't care if you want to call it a devil or a ghost or a demon. There's something in this home which has the intelligence to inflict physical and psychological harm upon this family.
Something in this home which has the intelligence to inflict physical and psychological harm. Imagine the house is quite ordinary from the outside, but as soon as you step inside, you feel like the air has changed, as if the walls are listening to your breath and some invisible force is constantly watching you. This is the story of the Smurl family. The year was 1973. The Smurl family lived in Best Pittston, Pennsylvania, USA, in the area. But then came a terrible storm, after which their old house was destroyed, and they were looking for a new place. Because of this storm, the Smurl family had suffered a lot of loss. They had suffered a lot of damage, so they wanted a cheap house. And history is witness to this, that when a house has ever been found cheap, there is definitely something wrong with it. So the Smurl family found a new house on Chase Street. From the outside, it looked like an ordinary building, in one part of which Jake and Janet lived with their 4 daughters. And on the other side lived their elderly parents, John and Mary. The family was very happy they thought that maybe life would get back on track, but they did not know that such paranormal events were going to happen to them, because of which a horror movie will be made on their life in 2025. Conjuring: The Last Ride.
Michael, defend us. Be our safeguard against the devil.
In nomine Patris, et Filii et Spiritus Sanctus, by the power of our Lord.
Today we are going to know the real-life story of this movie. We are going to know what happened to this family in real life. After coming to this house, everything was going normal with the Smurl family. Jake got a promotion at work. Janet also became a volunteer at a local school. Everything was going perfectly. Everyone thought that this house is absolutely perfect. This perfect house slowly started showing its true colors. First period, there were some small incidents, like strange sounds echoing in the room. Then few blankets would appear on the paint somewhere, as if someone had forcibly left stains. And the scariest thing was, even after the power went out, the appliances would start turning on and off by themselves. At night, the TV would turn on by itself, and after these, bad smells began. A terrible sulfur-like odor spread throughout the house. Someone had opened the gates of hell. A plumber was called. Pipes were checked, but nothing was found. But still, the people in this family thought, let's ignore all these little things. But this house was not going to ignore them. Gradually, the atmosphere of this house was changing. It felt like some invisible demonic power was growing. Here, it was Mary and Janet who first experienced these events. Both saw that in the house, their doppelgangers were wandering around. Yes, you heard absolutely right. Doppelgangers who looked exactly like them. Doppelganger is a German word. It means double walker. That is your other form. Or to put it simply, a look-alike who is neither your brother nor your relative, but it looks exactly like you, and it works in such a way that it makes your life hell. Mary said that she used to hear the fake Janet cursing while the real Janet was somewhere else at the same time. Janet herself even saw her doppelganger. Saw him cursing. Imagine if you had your own evil in that house, doing wrong things. Slowly, the whole atmosphere of the house was filled with fear and suffocation. This wasn't just a game of fear. Now it's deadly. It was happening because in the midst of this terror, Jake's mother Mary had a heart attack. And now for the first time, this family has realized that now this house belongs to them, is playing real sound in an extremely upsetting environment with life. But it doesn't stop here. One night, Jake was very sleepy. Suddenly in his ears, strange whispers started echoing. Sleep broke, so he saw a terrible sight. A dark, terrifying shadow. A demon near their wife Janet's feet was hovering. It was such a strange experience that these events didn't just stop at scaring them. Now, these events slowly became deadly. For example, one day a light fixture fell from the ceiling,
and in this incident, Jake's daughter was very badly injured. Their other daughter was also not spared by the demons. When she was on the stairs, coming down one day, someone pushed her, even though there was no one behind her. And also their 75-pound German Shepherd was lifted by unknown forces, invisible spirits, and thrown against the wall. His ribs were damaged. Imagine how terrifying the scene must have been. But wherever the Smurl family living in this house went, they couldn't buy this house. They had spent every last penny they had. It may not have known about this house, but whoever came to buy this house before knew something about it. That's why this house was sold so cheaply, and that's why no one was willing to buy it from the Smurl family. One night, Janet felt an invisible force lifting them into the air in their sleep. For a few seconds, she hung in the air above the bed, without touching the ground. Yanahara saw it with his entire family. Every night a new horror in this house. The scene was waiting. Sometimes ear-splitting screams were heard. Sometimes strange noises, like pig grunts, came from inside the walls all night. After seeing these strange events, when no member of the small family could sleep, then their condition was getting worse with each passing day. But neighbors also said that when the house was empty, even then scary screams came from inside it. And now, the biggest target of this house had become Jake. One night Jake claimed in front of his family that a ghostly shadow had come to them, and he bit their ear. They also showed everyone the wound on their ear. All the family members were very scared. Jake even told the name of that evil spirit. Its name was Scubs, and this spirit attacked them when they were at night sitting comfortably and watching. But these attacks did not stop there. One night a spirit knocked Jake to his knees. Holding their hair, they dragged them on their knees throughout the house. Their entire knees were damaged. They were beaten a lot, beaten mercilessly by the spirits. Who's beating Jake? They couldn't even see. But physical attacks were happening on them from all sides. They were feeling pain, and now this. The attacks were not only spreading fear in the house, but also breaking the spirits of those people, and after that, those people took some strict steps. They come disguised as desires. Ed and Lorraine Warren. The year was 1986. Life had become synonymous with fear and terror. The daily occurrences had broken them. And they finally chose the path that any common person would choose. The path of going to church. They went to a Catholic church for help. They hoped that perhaps prayer, blessings, and sprinkling of holy water would make these terrifying forces flee from their home. Meaning the Smurl family was thinking that the father would enter from here, and the ghost would exit from the back door, fleeing from the house. But the church dashed the Smurl family's hopes. They didn't send the father to the house. They refused to help, because they said to bring solid proof first that there is a ghost in your house. I mean, I'm wondering how someone will bring proof of being a ghost. You have to feel it by going there, right? Literally, was this a church? Or by mistake, did these people reach some court? Anyway, whatever it was, this family was completely desperate. But the events happening with them were slowly becoming quite prevalent. And finally, Ed and Lorraine Warren extended a helping hand to help them. The Warrens reached West Pittston. As soon as they stepped inside the house, they understood this is not a house. This is a den of ghosts.
a strange coldness as if an invisible icy wave is descending into the body. Their eyes roamed over the walls. Then they said that this house is not normal. And I remember very well that going to every house, Ed and Lorraine Warren used to have the same reaction that this house is not normal. There is something wrong here. But this house really wasn't normal, because as soon as Ed took out his cross and started chanting mantras, in front of the family and in front of Warren, a black shadow emerged from the ground and began to take shape. I mean, imagine a black smoke coming out of the walls and the floor, and it is taking a shape of a human. And then, in a jolt, with an explosion, that black smoke filled the whole house. Everyone found it difficult to breathe. Everyone had to come out of the house. After that, Ed gave a statement to a local newspaper called Wyker Barricade Times Lather, whose words still give goosebumps today. The ghost, devil, demon, and whatever you call it.
It's very powerful. It's invisible. I don't care if you want to call it a devil or a ghost or a demon. There's something in this home which has the intelligence to inflict physical and psychological harm upon this family.
To deal with the ghosts of this house, Lauren took a very different path. Did something that Warren generally didn't do. She went to every corner of this house and took both daughters of the Smurl family. She kept talking to those daughters, kept wandering in every corner of the house. She wanted the spirits to come in front of Lauren on their own. But Lauren definitely found out who all are in this house. And when they made all the family members sit together in the evening and told, everyone was shocked. According to Lawrence, there is not only one in this house, but there are 4 different spirits present. An elderly woman, the spirit of a young but quite cruel girl, the spirit of a man who died a painful death in this house, as well as a poltergeist who was controlling everyone. And this was the poltergeist that Jake used to beat at night by grabbing his hair, used to drag him to his knees, and all these events that were happening. It was his controlling behind all of them. He wanted to break that family, wanted to destroy them, because he was the oldest spirit living in that house. And whoever came to this house, this poltergeist would go after them. Although the people who lived in this house before this family, there weren't so many terrible events with them. Maybe there was something special about this family that was attracting that soul. He said that this demon gradually became powerful as this family started living here. In the same way, by sucking their mental and physical energy, it increased its power. Ed also claims to have audio recordings of the demon's voices. He has seen himself that things kept in the bedroom were moving on their own. The stuff in the closet was falling down without being touched by any human. And when Ed took the name of Jesus Christ and ordered, taking the cross in hand, leave this house, then it felt like, as if the walls of the house were shaking, a shivering energy spread throughout the house. But the soul was not satisfied, because she didn't want to leave from here, and wanted to drive people away from here. Now, after all these events, the church also turned its attention to the Smurl family. They also felt that, it seems, the family is really in trouble. They sent some fathers, sent them with holy water, small processes of exorcism type, sent them to perform worship, but all this did not help. Even these spirits were so clever that whenever someone came to the house to perform rituals in this way, it would stop all kinds of paranormal activity in the house, so that everyone would think that the people of the Smurl family are crazy. This simple house of West Pittston had suddenly become a supernatural hotspot. People started gathering outside the house. They were attached. Some people at night they used to try to listen to the sounds of the house, and some people would throw stones from outside to harass the people of this house and leave. Within a few days, this house became a media circus all around. Cameras, interviews around the house, the eyes of the world were on them. Everyone wanted to interview them, wanted to publish articles in magazines. Some people believed their words to be true. Some people gave different arguments to prove them wrong. But no one was helping them. There was no such person who would dare to spend a night in that house with them. To show, local journalists and paranormal experts called all their words false. How can all this be? Everyone. Together, they were after this family so much that this family lost courage. They thought that, on one hand, ghosts are drinking our blood, and on the other hand, since these humans found out about this thing, since then, these people have also been after us relentlessly. Ed and Warren also tried very hard, but those spirits did not want to leave the house at all. So in such a situation, a very difficult decision was taken. The Smurl family had to leave this house. The year was 1987. This family made a big decision when all their hopes were gone. They hated this house, built on Chase Street, leaving it after living in it for a decade. They packed their backpacks, said goodbye to home, and returned to Wilkes-Barre, thinking that perhaps they would find some relief here. In 1988, Robert Curran and Warren co-authored a book, The Haunted One Family's Nightmare. This book, the family tried to bring their experiences to the forefront, as well as a movie based on this book was also made. A long time ago, it was also named the same, One Family's Nightmare, but even after leaving this place, it felt like as if some spirits had come with them. Something bad kept happening to them. It felt like as if their bad time was going on. 1989, in a church did a sentient exorcism. During this, a supernatural event occurred to the family. They were persecuted and freed from this curse. See, that time was such that, when the trend was going on abroad, it was said in every other house that this house is haunted or old, because the houses of that time were houses built during World War II. People used to get them very cheaply, and that our house should become famous, come into the limelight of the media. In this, people used to spread stories about their houses. I don't know, but I definitely know that a lot of bad things happened to the Smurl family. But you have to admit, even after so much, the members of this family did not lose courage, although they had to leave their home. But in my opinion, they should have done this in a year or two. There was no need to wait 10 to 12 years. So, and if you want to see more such haunted videos, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next awesome video.